Hi, this is Jill from Jill with Bits of Bytes, and today I'm going to show you my Pattern Maker 2 action, and this is the Photoshop version. There is a Photoshop Elements version. You can't run the Photoshop version in Elements, but let's see, how did this go? Photoshop can run the Elements versions, and there actually are two versions for the for PSE because I use groups. And up until before 15 came along, it wasn't very friendly where groups are concerned. So my daughter always told us it's exactly the same, only different. That's it. The way I did things for the earlier versions is just a little bit different. Now, this all came about. This second pattern maker is when I changed the licensing CU to CU for CU on my earlier pattern maker. My ladies on my team were going to make me some examples to of larger things, and they were having a very hard time, and I understood it because they're people who do layouts, not necessarily people who do patterns. And so what I did is I took some actions I wrote for myself, and I made that action. And yeah, it was confusing. So I started looking around to see if I can find some tutorials or explanations about building patterns. And I came across this process that I'm going to show you. And it was like a real aha kind of moment. It was so easy. I think of all those years I've been making patterns and I was doing it the hard way. So I have an action. I set it up to be fairly interactive as you're building it and giving you lots of options as far as saving. So anyway, enough talk. Let me show you what I have. So what I'm going to do is build a work area. And you should have, after running this first one, set up work area, should have two windows. This window here, the Start Here PSB, is where you build your tile. The other one is what it's going to look like when it's scaled up, actually tiled up to full size. I'm building this at 900 by 900 DPI. There are ways that you can change this, but I'm not going to go into that in this particular video. Anyway, I'm going to come over here. It drives me nuts. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to start by doing the Create Pattern tile. Now, this is going to be the first part of it, and I make sure that my Start Here PSB window is active, and that's where I'm going to build it. And like I suggest is that the larger you get it, the less work it is in the second half. Okay, and when you're building it, you do not want to cross or go off of the canvas. So let me see. I'm using my bucket list elements here. Ooh, purple. Okay. Oh, and another purple. I want that behind. And these are all to complement my camera. Where's my camera? Oh, there's my camera. You can't see my second screen. It's my hidden one, my magic one. Okay, now this camera I want in front of everything. And I can make it a little bit smaller, but not much. Okay, now I want a leaf, so I'm going to, this is just how you would normally build a layout, so to speak, here. And we've got this leaf. And it's all off. I am using Photoshop CS 2022. My favorite one was 2015. I worked on that because it made sense to me. Although when I was writing actions, I would test it in the latest version. I didn't like working in it. I upgraded my operating system. I use a Mac, and Apple, in their benevolence and all their whatever, made it so that I could not run anything that was 16-bit. So Photoshop was not the only application I had to change. There were a lot of them. But I bought a new Mac, and I had no choice. I had to upgrade my thing. Anyway, long story short. So that looks pretty good. Let's do a save. And as you can see, there it is. See my thing here? Uh-oh. Okay, so if you look, I went off the canvas. Do not go off the canvas. Okay, come up here and do another save, and it's no longer chopped off. That is one of the reasons it's really nice to have this, because you have that type of interactivity as you're building it, and you don't suddenly get to the end and get ready to release it and you see, oh no, it's not right. Can't tell you how many times I've done that. Okay, so this is what you do. This is the second one. This is where you're going to fill in the rest of the stuff. And just do a save as you're going through this. Now, this is still the same tile, only if I do a save now, you're going to notice that things shifted. I just basically took what was on there originally and copied it to 4 corners. Easy, right? Yeah? You don't want to cross the edges again, but you just need to fill in. And I'm here on my Start Here layer because I want to fill in back behind what I already have. Okay, what do I want to, let's go with a white with a little bit of bling. Bring that in here. Can save and say, okay, that's what I want. I don't want any more flowers. I don't want any more leaves. Oh well, I have a smudge I can bring in. I don't want it on top of my flower, but so I just move it. And I save, and I check my edges, and I think, not bad. I think I'll go with it. Now, I wouldn't necessarily go with it, but I need to make this a little shorter than it would have been if I fooled with it. So I turn, like I said, if I want a transparent layer, I turn off the Start Here. Again, do not delete it. Do a save. And here you go. You see, there it is. And view, build screen. Oh. No. My commands. Some of the commands don't work on the Mac, and some of them do, and I never know what I'm doing. Okay. So basically, you finish running it. It's telling you it's all done. Again, I'm telling you, if you want transparent background, turn off the layer called Start Here. Do not delete it. Now, here are all the options to save things. You can see them as a quick explanation. I will go through rather quickly to show you. Now, the first thing is it doing a PAT file. And that's basically, it's going to create a file and add it onto your patterns. Okay, so it doesn't go away, but I wanted to show you that, so because it looks like it doesn't do much of anything other than the dialogues. That's it. And you think, well, where'd it go? Well, it's there. Okay, got it? That's what that particular save does. The next save takes this tile and saves it as a layered file, as a PSD. Now you can save it as a TIFF, and that's usually what I do. That's just old habit of mine. And it will save all of these layers on a tile. That's my backup. I have lots of EHDs. I have backups of backups because I have lost things. And I still lose things, but not as much since I have so many backups. But that's my backup. If I have to come in and make a change, I do it on my tile. Okay, and I have something to work with. So that's what that will do. It just, like it says, saves it as PSD. Okay, see, Photoshop, save as. Now, if you want to do a TIFF, okay, I'm not going to save it, but that tells you. Okay, that's what that one is. A full-size layered pattern. Okay, this one, basically, you think, well, why can't I just save this over here? Well, it's because of the way I created this interactivity between the two. These become smart objects, and you don't have all the individual layers, so it doesn't work. You used to go over here, yeah, I've got layers, but they're not what you expect for layers. Let me turn this off and show you a little more of what I mean. Okay. See, it's just this tile here. Not right. Doesn't work. Better come back here and save it anyway. Oh, I screwed it up. Oh. We'll go back. Okay, so what I do is I take your layered tile here that you've, before you save it as a PSD. If you didn't, that's fine. You can save this full size one pattern as your backup. But what it will do is it will take the layered file and it will create a full size pattern with all your layers. Okay, so if you look here, you can see, oops, it wants me to save. I can save PSD, I can save it as a TIFF. Anyway, I'm going to cancel that out. But you can see now that it really does have all the layers. I'll go down here. Anyway, each item is a layer. And this is especially important if you build templates. That way, you can use graphics and you can, merge things to where you've got a layered template. That's what that's for. That was one of those, well, what if? Anyway. The next one is create a flattened tile. And basically, I take this tile here, flatten it. It's got a transparent background. If I mess up and have this on there, it's still going to save it as a ping. Okay? Please do not, if you're planning on doing a full-size layered pattern and you don't have this tile saved as a backup, do not run this one, create flattened tile, because now you flatten it and you won't get your layers. Got it? And this one here, full-size layered pattern, is a ping. It'll take, the ping version of this tile and create a full-size, I'm losing my voice, sorry, full-size pattern. And that's kind of like if you want to do an overlay, for example. So that's what that is. This one here is as a JPEG, and whether you have this start here or on or off, showing up, it's going to flatten it and you're going to get your white background. So that's what that file is. And that's kind of like for your textured overlays or what have you. It's overlay stuff. And that's it. I hope you understand this, can get a feel for what it is. If you've got questions, you can contact me through the scrapbook, DSS, Digital Scrapbooking Studio, or you can email me at admin@bitsofbytes.org.